Hello and welcome to another of my Too Young to Get Old podcasts. Well, today I'm dressed slightly differently from normal because I'm talking about what works for me. A lot of you have been in touch and said I'd be quite interested to know what you do to keep as young as possible. One of the things is exercise, which is why I'm in these clothes, and I'm also going to a Pilates class shortly. So exercise is really important, and I have to say that it's obviously good if you start earlier rather than later, but I really didn't exercise nearly enough, I would say, until I was about 60. And I took up ballet when I was 63. And I now think that I've got quite a good program of exercise, but I've found out that as I've got older, I've needed to do more just to keep on the spot, as it were, because there's no doubt that it takes more effort to keep in shape as you get older, and it's up to you whether you're going to put that effort in. So you need to find exercise that you will want to do, otherwise you won't do it, and you need to vary it so that you're not using the same muscle groups every day. I also notice that I do Pilates and yoga and body balance, and I've noticed that in recent years there seems to be much more emphasis on opening up the upper back and chest in that way, exercises that promote that. And that of course enables you to breathe better, but it also stops that kind of aging thing where people get kind of hunched and droop. And so I think you should investigate forms of exercise, maybe you do Pilates or yoga, where you can open this up, because that is much more youthful and it improves your posture and enables you to breathe better. I think it sends more oxygen to the brain probably. And it does mean that you keep this rotation and flexibility in your neck and shoulders, which is an area that so many of us get very tense in if we're not exercising it. So that's one of the things that works for me. The next thing that works for me, Eva Fraser. I don't know if you've ever seen her on a television program. She wrote this book years ago, Eva Fraser's Facial Workout. Now her theory was this: you wouldn't run a marathon, would you, if your muscles in your arms and legs were atrophied, out of condition, and not exercised at all. And her theory was that in the face, there wasn't much point buying really expensive creams and potions to put on your face if your muscle tone had gone in your face. This made perfect sense to me, and I started doing her exercises probably about 15 years ago. And then in 2009, so that's 11 years ago, I met her again. I'd met her on a program previously, but I went and interviewed her for my book, Too Young to Get Old. She was over 80 then. She looked marvellous. And it makes perfect sense to me that there are masses of muscles in your face, masses and masses. They control your jawline, how much space there is between your eyebrow and your eye, which is quite a youthful thing. The bigger space you've got here, the more youthful you'll look. And these exercises strengthen, see I'm holding that there, or you raise your eyes. I mean, you don't look pretty when you're doing it. That's good for the jawline. Anyway, I've been doing these now for a long time. I've got it down to about 5 minutes a day, but I do think that if you get some good muscle tone into your face, you immediately look younger and you feel more sort of sculptured and better. People talk about whether people have got good bones in their face, but actually I think we should think much more about muscle tone. So still on the face, I don't think I'm going beyond the shoulders with what works for me this time. I discovered these products, I don't know if you can see this, The Ordinary. I think probably India Night or somebody wrote about them. They were devised by a chap called Brendan Truax, I think his name was, who sounds a bit of a flawed genius and alas actually died last year. But his whole approach was one of engineering, science if you like, rather than slathering on very expensive perfumed creams that cost a fortune and all got very fancy packaging and everything. As you can see, these come in really basic packaging and they're good basic prices. This one is organic cold pressed rose hip seed oil, which is lovely, £9. This is perhaps my favourite product of everything. It's called a vitamin C suspension. This is £5.80. You just start the day with this, put a little on you. I always think it's kind of getting rid of the dead cells, but actually I think what it's technically doing, vitamin C products, they protect the cells against pollutants in the air. They even out the skin tone and everything. Anyway, you might want to investigate it because they are very carefully and scientifically engineered, and you don't waste money on packaging, and you don't waste money basically, because nearly everything is under £10. So that's one of the things that I do for me. So they're just some of the things. Exercise, get the right skincare, and what was the other thing? Facial exercises, very important. Yeah, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes at most, could make all the difference. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. See you next time.